And the one with the rifle gets killed! The one who is following picks up the rifle and shoots!
Welcome to the second episode of Pick Up the Rifle and Shoot series, featuring my Yugoslavian K98K Mauser. The origins of the K98K Mauser has a deep history with the German Wehrmacht of World War II, albeit not a favorable one, but one cannot deny the K98K for what it is, an outstanding bolt-action rifle. Now after World War II, many leftover K98Ks were captured and repurposed by other countries and partisans. Russia captured K98Ks being the most prolific, but other countries such as Yugoslavia refurbished them to rearm their military quickly due to imminent conflict with the Soviet Union, as history tells us. And my K98K is the example of that part in history. So here she is, my Yugoslavian refurbished K98K. I acquired her from a private collector in late 2018, and she has stayed in the safe ever since, until now. After my 1942 Mosin review from the first episode of Pick Up the Rifle and Shoot series, it felt right to showcase the opposition's bolt-action rifle that fought against the Mosin be next. And what a rifle she is. A rifle that has the best action ever made in my opinion. And combined with its shorter carabiner length and better sights than the original Gewehr 98, definitely gave the upper hand to its user. This YUGO K98K carries on the German Wehrmacht K98K to its core, except for the rebarrel and the remarkings. Most of the original German markings were scrubbed off and restamped with Yugoslavian symbols such as Tito's crest on the receiver and the Arsenal Predusese, translated as Factory 44 on the side. The original German marking of Mod 98 was left untouched, indicating this K98K is an early refurbishment, as later ones were marked with a /48 at the end. She then was reserialized with 499 on the magazine floor plate. On the stock, on the receiver, and on the bolt handle. Factory 44 Arsenal did a fantastic job with the refurbishment. However, a couple of German Wehrmacht markings fell through the cracks, which makes my K98K very unique. On the base of the bolt handle, the German Reichsadler eagle clutching a swastika is still present, and on the trigger group the Waffenamt of the WAA 623 was left, which is the proof stamp of the manufacturer Steyr in Austria, which I will gladly assume manufactured my K98K. What a pleasant surprise that is. Now let's go see how well she shoots. Off to the 25-yard range. After giving her a good deep cleaning and checking headspace, she was all cleared and ready to be fired. The ammo I'm using is surplus 1956 YUGO M49 792x57, which is 196 grain. I initially set the rear sight at 2 and held center mass, and my first rounds were hitting high to the left. I then placed the rear sight at 1, adjusted the windage, and loaded another stripper clip of 5 rounds and proceeded to confirm 0. This time, my point of aim is right below the orange bullseye, a 6 o'clock hold, which gave me a consistent sight picture rather than a straight center mass hold. I found the roundish tip of the barleycorn sight difficult to determine the center of the target. All but one round hit right on center of the target. Surprisingly, the elevation was spot on with the rear sight at 1 at 25 yards. Well, it turns out my K98K does indeed have a taller front sight. From my research, I found that standard K98K front sights are approximately 0.200 to 0.210 of an inch tall. Mine measured at 0.230 of an inch. I'm going to assume that the Yugoslavian arsenal changed the front sight since they did the rebarrel, but who knows? I'm just glad she's turning out to be a fine shooter. Now let's see how she does at 200 yards. I placed the rear sight at 2, and with a 6 o'clock hold, I proceeded to shoot 5 rounds. The target I am using is the NRA-C 200 yard target, which has a 13-inch black circle. I also put a shoot and see 12-inch circle target so I could see the hits on my spotting scope. The first circle is 4 inches in diameter and the second circle is 8 inches. I took a walk down range to confirm what I saw in my spotting scope, a 7 3/4 inch group. Windage was right on despite the windy conditions, but I can see I need to work on my breathing for the elevation. So back to the firing line and load up another 5 rounds. As I believe 10 rounds gives the shooter the best measure of what their rifle was capable of, and what they're capable of. Three more rounds hit the same area with the exception of 2. And those 2 I knew I definitely messed up. One hit the edge of the blue circle and the other in the 8 ring. However, the other 3 consistently hit with the first 5 rounds, and with that I could conclude that my Yugoslavian K98K can do 3.875 MOA at 200 yards with 1956 Yugo M49 surplus ammo. I am impressed. And I'm sure I could do better with modern ammo and on a less windy day. But it is what it is, and I'm very happy how she performed on the range. So there you have it. My K98K still keeping up with the best of them after all these years. I can only imagine where she's been and how many battles, wars, and conflicts she has fought in. And being of Yugoslavian refurbishment adds more to her unique history, which I'm thankful to be able to share with all of you. I'll be sure to do follow-up videos of her in the future as well. Thanks for watching.